So today we'll be cooking some local monkfish tandoori kebabs with caramelized coconut and cumin rice and a spring onion and coriander raita. So first we are going to trim the membrane of this fresh monkfish. This is the membrane or the skin of the monkfish. To do that, we are going to turn it upside down, hold it by the tail and slide the knife just over the membrane. And any other bits can be sliced off as well and cut it into inch-sized portions. Next, we are going to marinate this fresh monkfish. Have a look at this. For marinating, take your yogurt and add your spices in it. The whole list of spices are in the description. Add half a lemon juice and give it a mix. Then add grated ginger and chopped garlic to it, followed by a monkfish. I'll also be marinating some veg with the monkfish. You want to cut your veg nice and chunky so it doesn't fall off the skewers. Now we are going to mix all this and leave it to marinate overnight. Well, you don't need to leave it to marinate overnight, but you want to at least marinate it for 2 to 3 hours. The reason I'm marinating it overnight is it's just easier. If you're going for a barbecue, if you're going for a picnic, you could do the job the night before and there's one less thing to worry about. And tomorrow we'll be assembling it and cooking it off. So while that's marinating, we're going to make some coconut and cumin rice just before we start cooking the monkfish kebabs. So for that we are going to use rice, obviously, desiccated coconut, cumin seeds, some butter, using Shetland butter, obviously, and some water. So we're going to start off by adding some butter and cooking off some cumin seeds and the desiccated coconut. On a medium heat, add your butter and your cumin seeds. Let it crackle, as this will help release the flavors. Add your coconut and keep on mixing it until it caramelizes. Once it has a nice golden color, we'll be adding our water, and followed by the salt. So while this comes to a boil, we're going to wash the rice under the tap 4 or 5 times to get rid of the excess starch. We are going to cook this rice until the water's almost evaporated. Then we're going to put a lid on it and let it sit for another 10 to 15 minutes. Well, that took less than 10 minutes. It took about 7 minutes. So keep an eye on it. Round out the flavors of the monkfish kebab and the rice, we are going to make some spring onion and coriander raita. I'll be using locally grown from one of my favorite farms in Shetland. Organically grown, the flavor, smell and aroma is like nothing else. The best way to slice it is to bunch it up and to give one single slice. As you cut it. Add all of this to your yogurt with your spices and give it a mix. And that's your spring onion and coriander raita ready. And now it's finally time to cook the tandoori monkfish kebabs. So I'm using wooden skewers for my monkfish kebab. And here's a handy tip. Make sure to soak them in water for a few hours. This will prevent it from burning while you're cooking them. To prepare your monkfish kebab, alternate between pieces of monkfish and your vegetables. And now, let's get cooking. On a high heat pan, add your oil and once it starts smoking, add your monkfish to it. Once it nicely starts caramelizing it, turn it over. Keep your monkfish nice and moist. I'll be adding a little bit of water and putting a lid on it. Cook it for a few minutes, take the lid off and let the water dry out. And that way your monkfish is perfectly cooked without being dry. And now it's time to plate this up. So if you like this recipe and you want to cook more local food, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel.